Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am Mad Capper and this is another video on Raid Shadow Legends and another in our series of I Built Them So You Don't Have To. Today we're going to investigate one of the barbarians that came in with the sisters. I have actually done videos on both Alika and Sakara, so make sure you check those out. But this time we're going to talk about Maeve. She was also brought in at the same time. She has a different toolkit that might situationally help you or might be trash. We're going to find out in this video. So without further ado, here it is. I built them so you don't have to on Maeve. And stay down. Attacks one enemy. Enemies killed by this skill cannot be revived. Slobber Knocker. Attacks one enemy. Places a stun debuff for 1 turn. Places a stun debuff for 2 turns if the target is under a sleep debuff. Stupefy. Attacks one enemy, has a 60% bookable to 70% chance of placing a sleep debuff for 1 turn. Has a 50% chance of granting an extra turn if the sleep debuff is placed. All right, here we are for the damage test portion. We're going to use Errol. Errol has not seen the light of day and probably anyone who owns him account for a very long time, but he's a very hard-hitting champion, and I built him out, and I'll show that in a second just so you know what we're doing here. But we got the debuffer, and we've got Maeve, who we're testing, obviously. We've got Alika, who's got 2 single target abilities, and of course we've got Hexia, one of the best, hardest hitting champions in the game, but she needs the whole debuff thing, so we're gonna see her normalized testing. We're not really putting her in the position to have lots of debuffs on her. Normally you bring her in with a Gerp Tuck and she's gonna hit extremely hard, but I wanted to do something a little different so you can just see a normalized dungeon run, because not everyone has the ability to self debuff to make Hexia hit harder, but she's still a champion that you probably want to have in faction wars, and therefore can you use her in dungeons. And of course Errol, and I want to talk specifically about Errol in a minute. Let's just show you what the numbers are here. We've got 4,600 attack, we've got almost 100% crit rate, I apologize, 261 crit damage. We do have accuracy on her. With Hexia, we are going in both Hexia and Alika are in Savage. We've got 243 at 100%, 4,500 crit, or sorry, attack. We'll show Maeve in a minute when we do her kit breakdown. Actually, we'll just give you right now what she's 5,000, 107, sorry, 235 crit damage, 204 because she does have a debuff. And the big thing with her is that she's over crit cap, but that's fine. It'll give us an idea. She is not in crit or in savage gear. Only have so much savage gear. and I didn't want to take gear that's kind of beyond the testing. You guys have seen these videos, you know what I mean. But Errol, see his stats, 276, 50, 100. Let's get in here. Let's see what the damages are on her abilities. So first, as always, we're going to debuff, give everyone the same starting point, defense down, weaken. Now, we're going to start with A1. This is a heal thing. It also increases the damage for each debuff on this champion, which he has none. So it's not going to be as hit hardy, but still pretty good at 84,000. This is a block revive as well, so very nice for Maeve, and she hits 121,000. That's a hard-hitting champion. You've seen her numbers, and that's pretty impressive. Now let's take a look at negation here. 71,000, and then this is an attack all enemies, so we'll use her A2. It ignores some defense. 145. She's absolutely crushing it. So there you go. A3's pretty strong hits here. You're gonna take a look here. You know, Errol, the weakest hit. Now, keep in mind, I did not build Errol fully as I should, which is with 30% less crit rate, because he's got that extra crit rate. I could have probably gotten his attack much higher, but honestly, it would require stealing gear. We have Alika. She's hitting really hard. She's ignoring defense plus and savage. So the fact that she did that even to Tyrell, who's a defense-based champion. But Maeve coming in strong there. Hexia is hitting weak here because of the lack of debuffs. If we brought in Gerptuck, she would likely have hit for at least 150 to 200,000. So just keep that in mind. Now let's replay it, and this time we're going to go through with the A2s again with the debuff. Boom. A2, this attacks one enemy, grants the next turn, places a 50% increased attack buff. So we're actually going to take this into account for the total damage. 111 with that. She didn't kill, so she doesn't get that extra turn. Now we got A2. Places a stun. Keep that in mind. If the target is under a sleep debuff, it's kind of a strange thing to put on an A2. But nonetheless, 121,000 again, and a stun. Very strong hitting ability. Very strong. And then we've got this. This has a chance to ignore defense. Boom, boom, boom. About 75, 80,000. No big deal. We've already seen it, but let's do that again. 122. Let's back out. Errol's hitting very weak. It's unfortunate too, because if I would have, whatever. It's not his test. 122 for Alika, 121 Maeve. So you see very similar A2 scores. Hexia, I mean, I would say Hexia probably was RNG, or maybe she didn't proc Helm Smasher, but also probably in that same range. So all their A2s hitting very similar numbers. Let's hit the final one here. Debuff him again. And this will be the A1. Looks like we didn't get over there, so we'll go Horden with you, 65,000. We'll go Bombarder. I missed it. God, scroll out. Errol, who's been the toast of embarrassment here. Boom, 53,000. And then Alika. Now keep in mind, Alika gets a chance to double hit. So 50% didn't get a chance, but still 80 on the one. Keep in mind, she gets a 50% chance to hit a second time. So every, on average, second time, she's going to double that damage, which makes her so strong for single target. Here you go again. Numbers, again, pretty similar. Hexia's a little lower than the other two, but Alika and Maeve both hit pretty strong. Errol, again, not very good. So you can see where you really have to pay attention on your Errol to push those numbers really high with that 30% crit rate bonus. And that's why nobody builds Errol, because he's being out damaged in standard gear pulls by all three of the epic ladies. So Errol, it's back to the guys, back to the vault for you. So there's the damage test. We've done a dragon run. Let's take her into the arena now, see if we can't have a little fun. I'm pushing close to platinum, so we're probably going to see some pretty aggressive teams to go up against, but it should be a fun little event. I want you to know I do this for you, right? We've basically got a gimme page. We got a gimme page. Hurts my soul. Hurts my soul to do that. These are the things I do for you. So this is my second attempt, just so we're full clarity here. It's not that I lost the first time, it's that I want to show Maeve off. And we've got a very high resist here on Cargill. So we're going to bring in Kimmy, my latest legendary build, just to help us with that. And that should definitely improve our chances here. We're going to get that increased accuracy. Resisted all across, but that's fine. What we needed is that to get that decreased defense. And then we're going to see if we can kill him here. Boom. Dead. Block revive. We really want to... He's going to provoke, but what's going to happen there? Do I care? We'll go for it. So we're pretty much full health. So unfortunately, we don't get a chance there, but that's fine. We'll pull off here. Oh, we got the triple fear, so maybe get one of those to proc, maybe. Now for the A2, it'd be really nice if we could land this stun, well, or kill. So boom, full dead. Oh, she died too. That's a problem. We don't have revive. That's problematic. Just want to get to her stupid. There we go. It's fine. Really wish we would have landed that block debuffs the last time. Would have been real nice. Oh, shoot. She's going to get a chance to go, maybe. I think we have to remove it, don't we? Then hope we can live. Boom. There we go. It's unfortunate they got a shot off and were able to kill my Maeve. I think she works for the scenario we're in. Like I said, because we're against a higher resist champion, I needed the extra help to land everything, and that wasn't, is what it is. But still a win, not too bad. We'll take it. Next on the docket, let's take Rotos. She doesn't really have a double hit though. And why do I only have 4 champions? Thanks for the refresh for 4 champions, Plarium. Well played. Well played. Okay. Really any of the deals that I want to go with here, but that's fine. What we'll do is we'll bring in Lockdown. Sure. For you guys. Spending gems like candy here. So 168 team power. Doesn't look like we're going to need that extra accuracy. So we are a single target team here, but we're gonna still go with I should go with the Lockdown team. Yeah, we'll do. Well, this is almost a cheat code, but nonetheless, let's give it a go. We'll show what she can do for damages. What I think is that Maeve can be used pretty much exclusively in the scenario that I kind of drew out there, where you need to avoid hitting Vogoth early on. I don't see it being a huge opportunity outside of that, but here you go. This is where it's really important. That A3 with the block revive and she can do very good damage, right? I'm not even in top end gear with her. If we were to put her in Savage gear, if I were to put her in like even my top 3 sets of Savage, I think we'd be talking about a different scenario altogether. We want to make sure that we don't let Umbral go. So this is not a scenario you want to be a part of, right? I don't want to have to sit here and keep whittling through. It's not how you want to play out your turns. But for this scenario, we do what we can. Again, I do not want her to lock us down with her provoke. Even the weak affinity, not really concerned. But this is taking too long. If you have her, she does hit very hard. And the kit altogether is very nice, right? Block revive, again, another chance. This is when you want to bring it in. I think her usefulness is 2 areas in Arena, and we'll try to find for our third fight that third scenario. And the first scenario is when you're trying to avoid AoE targeting, and that's, for example, with Vogoth, because he can heal everyone and you end up not getting what you want. Seeker's another one. You don't want to proc that ability, so you can use single target and pick off the nuker. Plus, she's single targeting and blocking revive, so once you get rid of this Trunda, she's gone forever. There's no coming back from that, which is a huge deal. The other scenario, here's another scenario here where we could bring it in, is when we see the Seeker, we don't want to proc that Seeker. It's going to give us a chance to eliminate some of the others. What I would probably do in this case, maybe I would bring a freeze, or maybe bring a slower AoE. I mean, there's lots of things you could do, or bring in a second single target. Like, we could do this to speed things up, right? Where we're actually bringing in multiple AoE champs. We're getting up that debuff, and then we're taking care of the champions we do not want to deal with. So there, Rosin's out of the picture. Block revive, can't do anything. We're gonna take him. What are you gonna do? Yeah, that's whatever. And then Rhodos, he's gonna take care of his. And then we never had to deal with the Seeker's defense up. Now this team probably could have fought through that defense up and still killed them all. But this is the type of scenario that I believe we're looking at. And I mean, the damage is there. The damage is significant, and the kit is there. Okay, let's take a look at how we. Why do I always say we? Who? Me, myself, and I here. I can show you how I booked out Maeve and built her. So we built her, as you already saw the numbers, 5k attack, 235 crit damage. Her crit rate is high. I just was kind of fumbling around. I wanted that increased attack percentage, and this is what we came up with. And I thought, gosh, for this test, it's going to give you a good idea. Ultimately, if I could trade some crit rate for attack, or more likely crit damage, that'd be nice. But it was, you saw it. She could hit very hard. As far as her skills, obviously fully booked. And then finally her masteries, pretty standard. She does have the stun, so I wanted to get this opportunity. She does have a sleep, and I don't really, she doesn't have an ability that this works on, right? She's got a sleep and a stun, and they both don't do this, but the sleep and the stun don't do this either. And I don't know, I just hate, she's single target, so A1. So Evil Eye, I don't think that there, I mean, you could make the case, maybe go here and then here, I guess, but honestly, I just put in that because I hate red dots. That's why. Over here, this is a similar thing to what I do. There is a slight change here. Normally I go to bring it down, but I thought it makes sense to go here because she is placing a stun herself. Therefore, and it can be a 2-turn stun with the right combination. Kymar and her working together works very nicely. But unfortunately, I mean, it is situational, but I do like the fact that you can get that extra 12% damage in combination. So we brought it down this side, and then we went with Helm Smasher. So this is how I like to build out champions. Like I said, normally I would probably swing over to bring it down, but because she has that mechanic for stun. So those are the masteries we used on her. So let's go to final thoughts. My final thoughts on Maeve. First off, we need to talk about her appearance. She looks freaking amazing. First of all, she's a woman of color, which is awesome. There's not near enough of them in the game. I feel like games should add diversity, not to appease something political, but because, look, when you are playing games or watching sports or doing anything, watching superhero movies, you tend to relate with that which looks similar to you. It's a fact. And so if you add more diversity in the game, it gives more people that are playing the game. And worldwide, guess what? There's a lot of people of color. There's a lot of Asian. There are a lot of Aboriginal peoples, Métis. There's a whole breadth of people in this world. And if you're making a global game, adding different people from different cultures and areas and things that look, as well as fantastical creatures and all the rest, I think is nothing but a good thing. And it, for me, as soon as they add the bald, fat, bearded guy, I'll build him and I'll emulate him. I think it'll be awesome. But until that day happens, the closest I got is Farkin. He needs a better beard. Until then, I'll have to do what I can. But long story short, like the fact that she's in the game. And aside from that, she looks awesome. She's wearing more armor than perhaps the rest of the barbarians combined, which is wow. But still, she's got the cool markings, war paint or the white tattooed. I don't know which would be on her skin. She's got cool looking armor. I love the color pattern with the red and that kind of Is it mauve? Is that what color that? I don't know, that purplish color. I like the hair with the frosted tip mohawk, and then these are obviously braids coming in from behind, and then the full headdress there, and the cool looking arrow. I like everything about her. I like this champion. Good thing she's wearing heels too, because when you're in the desert wasteland, and you don't have high heels, woo, they might confuse you for a guy, I guess. I don't know why have you ever noticed that? Every heel. Anyway, as far as her kit goes, which is probably the more important thing, now that I've done rambling on that, I like her kit, and 6 months ago, I'd probably be a lot more bearish, bullish on this champion, because, Barbarians had a lot less champions, but they've added a lot of champions to the Barbarian faction, and a lot of very good champions. And so it's harder for me now to say build this champion. I would probably say pass. If you're free to play, stay away. She just doesn't have a strong enough kit to help you out. There's better single target champions. There's better block revive champions. There's better nukers. There's better barbarians. All check marks lead to other paths. If you're a spender, but you're in the mid game, you pull Maeve early, build her. Yeah, why not? A block revive is always situationally good in the arena. It'll always be up until the end game. There's a point at which she gets probably pushed out by other champions, especially when you're fighting. You just don't use block revive. You use other means, crowd control, that sort of thing. But definitely not a bad pull. If you're a spender and you pull her early enough, I wouldn't hesitate. If I pulled her as a spender a year and a half ago, I would 100% built her because I like her kit. But for the rest of you, I'd say probably pass. In endgame, she's going to be phased out. So those are my thoughts on her current kit. How would I make her better? Well, first off, if your own AI, by the way, ignores a skill on auto, fix the skill. Now, you could say, and I have not tested, you could say that you only will use this if there's a reviver on the team. I call BS. Having not tested it, but knowing Plarium. I think what it is the A2 hits harder. The A1 has better damage potential with a crowd control component. Both of them have crowd control components. The A3 is not a priority debuff, and so the AI goes, I'm going to always go with the priority debuff on like damage. And so it always picks A2 and A1. That's what I think happens. That's what I see happens when we ran it through the dungeon. So increase the multiplier on the A3. Block revive should kill, right? Phoenix, one of the hardest hitting A1s in the game. Straight up, no fancy anything else. If he has debuffs, if they have buffs, just straight up one of the hardest hitting A1s in the game with block revive. Let's do the same for Maeve. Up this ante. You don't have to do crazy. She doesn't have to do 500k damage, but it should be enough damage that the AI says, I'm going to use this skill, because even if block revive isn't important in this particular scenario, we're still going to get a good damage hit out of it. So that's A3 fixed. A2, love it. Don't change it. I like even the synergies. I think for Arena, you think, hey, Kymar's so popular in Arena. Here's a good synergy. You think Siphi has an A1 with sleep. There's ways that this can be cool. She has her own sleep as well, so she could hit this, get an extra turn, get it off a cooldown, and then go to this and stun that person for 2 turns. There are different ways to do this. And then, of course, her A1. This is where I think the change could happen. To make her usable, maybe broken. I mean, you let me know if you think my thoughts are broken here. But I would say I want to see one of two things. Now, my preferred would be get rid of the 50% chance. So it has a 60% bookable to 70% chance of placing the sleep debuff, and has and then grants an extra turn if the sleep debuff is placed. Wouldn't that be amazing? Wouldn't it be cool to watch her potentially lock off not 1 but 2 but 3 but 4 champions and sleep, could sleep a whole team in the Doom Tower? Wouldn't always. 70% chance isn't 100% chance. I mean, a 50% chance to fear is a 10% chance in real world. So I mean, it wouldn't happen all the time. Maybe you knock it down to a 50% bookable to 60% chance just to kind of balance that out a bit. But I think the potential of that A1 being able to sleep multiple champions would be cool. The other way I would go is to give it a keep the percentage chances, but make it non-resistible, so you can go up against high resist teams and sleep them, which would be a really handy ability. And then you can still get those extra turn chances. But you know, at least it would be. It's not my favorite one. I like the scenario one better, but at least that would make her more usable. And then the other option would be, or thought is, to make that sleep a 2-turn sleep instead of a 1-turn sleep. A lot of the times it's going to get disrupted anyway, but the fact that she can't even pair her own abilities, this is a 1-turn sleep, so it would have to, so she's using this first, and it's a 4-turn cooldown, so she would have to sleep 4 people, 3 additional people, to get back to this skill to use it, and then have it actually work. Otherwise, chances are she won't get back to this skill to use it from her own sleep, which is kind of a meme, right? What's the point of having an A2 that's situational off of your A1 kit? It should be 2 turns, so that way she can sleep them, and then the next time she gets to go, maybe she gets a chance to use that stun for 2 turns. Just a thought. Any of these ways I think would make her a lot more usable. The first way of having that 100% chance for an extra turn if she lands asleep is my favorite. I love that thought. I just love the thought that she could be usable. I think free-to-play players probably still wouldn't bother. I think endgame players might do it for videos, content creators, but I think there's a good section of this of the player base that would be like, yeah, this is something that could help me with crowd control in Doom Tower, in Arena. So I don't know, those are my thoughts. What are yours? How is Maeve usable? Am I wrong? Is she usable right now and I'm just being a little harsh? I love her, but I think that she's been pushed out by power creep. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she is one of the 5 best epic champions in the Barbarian Faction Wars. Let me know, comments in the down below. But it is time for me to end. 8 minutes. God, I can never seem to get these quicker. I want to thank you for watching. Thank you for making it this far in the video. Please be kind, be safe, and we'll see you in the next video.